Hello people of the internet, my name is Lasinyas and today we are going to be redesigning characters from Helluva Boss. Now before we begin, I would like to say that this is all just for like fun stuff for me. I don't really take this as seriously as some of the other people in the fandom do. I really do just wanted to use this like as practice, you know, and plus I'm not really as experienced drawing like certain aspects, especially for guys, so if you think Millie, the Millie redraw is gonna be like a little bit more, a little bit more like better, I guess. I think it's because I'm used to drawing girls. Also, I don't know if you could tell, but I am probably sick. Anyways, don't take anything of what I say in this video very seriously. This is all just for fun. Now, redesigning isn't really something that I do a lot, especially whenever it comes to characters that already have like a pretty solid basis on like who they are and like what they do. But I kind of, for Blitz, I think for like his entire design, I decided to do something a bit more like presentable, because if like, you know, if I'm in hell and I'm trying to scam people and stuff, it's not really scamming, but I feel like if you were like if you were gonna tell me that you could go to Earth and kill the people that killed me or kill the person that I really didn't like, I feel like that would be a scam. And personally, I think if I was like super smart, like I would probably present myself as scammy and as somebody that like you know, the higher up shouldn't pay attention to, because I'm just talking all you know. Because I mean, wouldn't you feel like kind of hesitant to even go up to a person and ask to do that? And like, what isn't that like against like rules and stuff? I don't know, regulations. But personally, I wouldn't really care about that either. It is hell. I mean, what else are they gonna do? Kill me again? Plus, I think in like how I see it, you know, I think his character would be a lot shorter because they're like imps and stuff, but I don't know why. He would just be, I have like this feeling that they would be short, not because like everybody else around him is tall, especially Stolas, he's a Goetia, but because like he has just like this like short, I don't know why, but he has this short Italian kind of vibe to him. Also, for his horse obsession, my god, in my head, you know, if I was obsessed with something, I would like to wear memorabilia of it. But for Blitz, I decided to have like 2 little matching horse pins that go on his collar, which I believe y'all guys will see that I designed in a sec. I also feel like because of this, he's a bit more like, he tries to hide his foolery. I don't know why he would try to hide it, but I feel like he would try and present himself more like cleanly, because like I want to be, if I'm doing something illegal, I don't want to be as suspicious, but at the same time I kind of don't want to be like, what is it, inconspicuous? Either way, I want to become as suspicious and as non-suspicious as possible, you know, just to try and confuse everybody. Also, in this design, I specifically had these weird horns. You know, it's not any different from the original design, except for like the way they're like kind of shaped. I mean, they're shaped similarly. It's the same idea and everything, but I decided to make them more like, what is it? More like eroded? I think that would be the word for it. Like, you can tell, like, Blitz has definitely been through some stuff. I thought the original pattern of his horns was a little bit too, like, boring, I guess. Not boring, but, like, it's original, definitely, but I just didn't like it. So, I definitely did, like, a gort. Oh my god, help me. So I did a goat horn kind of thing, and honestly, I kind of liked the way that they turned out. I didn't think that I was going to, because I thought it would be like too messy, but I think I liked the way it turned out. I think if I used a different color for the base, it would have been a little bit better, but I kind of like it. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, Blitz did take a long time for me to design because, well, one, I think his design is alright from like the original show, so I didn't really want to change much about it. I think the only thing that I added to him was like nice like boots and like gloves and like a different pattern for his like his imp skin, which you'll notice a lot in these designs that I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna have like I'm gonna put like black, white, red all over these characters because they look so, because I love this pattern. These patterns so cool. I don't think they're called patterns, but I think you know what I mean. For the skin color, it was kind of difficult as well because I didn't really know if I wanted to go with that bright red kind of like blinding look. It works well in the show because all the characters around them are kind of red and they're like the lesser, like they're like controlled red, I guess. I don't know. But behind, like when they're put on white paper, it like blinds me, which is super funny because for the longest of time I had to figure out like what color I wanted Blitz's skin to be in order for me to not be completely blinded by the light behind him. Another challenge that I was facing whenever I was drawing Blitz was his head shape, because he has a very like football head. And I think it was hard to cover up because he didn't have any hair, so I just decided to make his like skin fur. I don't know what I was thinking here. I think I was originally going to be doing like maybe like a tuft of hair on the top, but then I just decided to go with the like that's his skin, deal with it. Now it kind of just makes it look like that he has like fur instead of like imp skin. With his symbol on his head, I didn't know whether to keep it or to just like put something else there, but in the end, at the end I just decided to keep it instead, and I made it really simple to draw. Because I feel like the original design was a little bit too sharp for the way that I wanted it to be. So I just made it rounder and made it to where it didn't take up as much space. And I left the scar there. I could have totally changed the color of it, but I think it looks more awesomer that way. Other than that, I wouldn't really change much about his personality because I feel like he's perfect the way he is. He's a very complicated character, and I love complicated characters. It's like doing the wrong thing for the right reason, doing the right thing for the wrong reason, you know? I forgot to talk about, like, this little puff that he has on his collar of his neck. Yeah, that was totally intentional. Because I think it's super cute, the way that they have it in the show, where it's just, like, all wiggly. But I decided to make his puffy. And it still has the same pattern as the original. I don't think you could see it though because it's blocked by his like huge skull necklace. I get that they're supposed to be like kind of like a tie, but I feel like a necklace would be a little bit better. And I decided to make the necklace shiny because it's made out of metal. Yeah, but other than that, I don't think Blitz is my best redesign yet. And he's my first one, so I just hope that the next two aren't gonna be like as time consuming as this one, because it really did take me a while to come up with what I actually wanted to do for Blitz right here. And this is the final redesign of Blitz. For Millie, when I was redrawing her, I only had like one thing in mind, and that was like, you know, boss girl. I can't, what's a cleaner version of that? I don't know. I just knew I had to present that in a way, but at the same time, like, I wanted her to be like a girly girl. So with her, she has like this confidence in her capabilities. Like, she knows she can beat anybody, you know. She's like, she used to be like in this like, what is it? Was she like a bounty hunter or something? I don't know. I think she was. I think I got it right. So she's like fairly confident in what she does. And when the episode of her and Blitzo's friendship came up, I was like, oh my goodness, is this gonna be an episode about Blitzo again? Which it kind of was, but it was also about like their relationship and how they met and stuff. Which I'm really glad that they did. I didn't just want her to be a plain old character, but she actually did have like a reason to why she's like so cool and stuff. And in my head, now that she's joined like Blitzo and all of this, I feel like she'd be a lot more like chilled with what she does. She's not nonchalant by any means, because she still flirts with Mox. I feel like she would flirt with Mox subtly. Like, she'll like give her she would give him this like, you know what I want look. But moments like that are where she's like not being serious, like when she's like I guess off the job. I don't know if it's off the job or if it's just like in the office, but when they're in the other side, she's like all focused and stuff, like, you know. I feel like Blitz would let Millie and Mox, like his coworkers, wear whatever they want as long as like they can fight and stuff. So that's kind of what I had in mind when I was drawing Millie. I also wanted to keep her hair in like this up, because she looks so pretty when her hair was up. Like, oh my god, did y'all guys not see that? I definitely wish they kept her hair up, but you know, it's perfectly fine. I also decided to make her hair a lot more blue, because I don't know, blue, just like that blue hair just really suited her. I followed a similar outline for her bangs for whenever she has like her short hair. I also like to think that she like does her hair in like all sorts of weird styles, because she has like extremely long hair. Like when they have to go to Earth, she has to like put it up into into braids or something, because I feel like that would be really cool to see. Like every mission she has a different hairstyle. Granted, she could already do that with her short hair, but I feel like longer hair would just like be a little bit more of like creativity, because you have like so much like that you can work with. But her default would be just like ponytail and hair, because that's how she used to have it all the time. At first, my idea was gonna be like to make the horns short and sterile, like very small, very like pointy, but like very small. But then I was like, you know what, we're just not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do the same thing, but with more lines. And it totally worked. Also, you'll notice that with Millie and Moxie's eyes, I decided to, I decided to put color in them, because in the original pictures, like, they're just black, which I get for animation purposes, but for my purposes, that just won't do. For me, I love to do detailed eyes, because they are probably like my most favorite thing to do whenever it comes to like drawing and stuff. The heart with wings on the shirt was definitely like something that just came to me for some reason, because it's like she can wear whatever she wants, because whoever's gonna tell her like, oh, that's a stupid shirt, she could just beat up, you know. But overall, I thought it was just like a really cute design for her. Along with like the ripped pants, it was my first time ever like doing ripped pants in like my style, and kind of difficult, but I think it turned out well. Also, by like the end of the speed paint, I kind of almost forgot about the chains that I had. I don't know why they're there. I see a lot of people who I think that are strong wear them, so I subconsciously put them there. Which I also decided to be a little bit more detailed with, because chains are pretty easy to understand, at least for me. I can understand how they can get a little confusing, but with a little bit of work, a little bit of oil, a little bit of grease, you got something. I wanted to put Millie in like shoes or something, but then I realized like they're literally like they have hooves. So yeah. Another thing that you're gonna notice is that I draw the hooves on Millie and Moxie's feet. I don't really have like any kind of idea how to draw hooves, I guess, because they have like this like they have a unique shape to them. And I think I got the shape down perfectly, but I definitely do need to work on the angles of it. With her like skin pattern, I wanted there to be like a lot more I wanted there to be a lot more white and black spots on her body. I don't know why, I just thought that they had the spots suited her a lot more than like Blitz or than Moxie. Also, I completely forgot that she had like a heart tattoo whenever I was sketching it, so it was like a last second kind of thing, and the idea sort of came to mind that she had like hunter tattoos, like from when she was a hunter, and I was like, oh my god, you know, my design could be where she is like trying to like hide her old life behind, because like she originally, you know, in plot, she like is grateful that Blitz gave her this new life in like, you know, in the business. And those bandages on her arm are specifically to where she is wanting to like, you know, not forget it, but she doesn't want to be reminded of it every day, you know, how bad life used to be, I guess. And in my headcanon, Millie has like this heart arm to symbolize like her marriage to Moxie, so that's like the only tattoo she like doesn't keep hidden from the world. Also, for Millie's design, I wanted to keep her gap tooth because it looked so cute. Like, I couldn't just take that away from our girl. Initially, I wanted her to have like lipstick or something, but then I was like, no, I don't feel like she's the kind of girl to care about lipstick unless it's for like a oh my god. Unless it's for like a mission to where they have to like, not cosplay, wear a disguise. I wanted to keep the eyelid design because she has like these, whenever like she closes her eyes, her eyelids shine and have like a different color than the rest of her face, which kind of cemented this idea where she was like a bit like haha, like kind of sly in a way. With her personality, I would say it would stay mostly the same. I would like to say that she's still optimistic, and I feel like she would like kid around a little bit more. I feel like Millie would also be a little bit sarcastic, but not too sarcastic. She would like throw it every once in a while, but not like all the time when she's on screen, you know? Especially when they're doing like missions and stuff, when they're trying to be like killing people. She would just like lock in and be like, okay, this is what I gotta do, you know? I wouldn't change anything else about her. She would still be loving and like maybe a little flirty with Mox. So yeah, here is my design of Millie. So for Moxie, his design was, I had a lot more easier time with Moxie, I feel like, because I had this sort of image in my head. And if I had to be completely honest, Moxie totally threw me off whenever he couldn't do math. Because to me, he came off like more dorky than anything else, but whenever it came to that episode where he couldn't do math or something like that, it kind of really just like, I felt a little bit like disappointed, but at the same time I was like, okay, you know what, actually that makes sense. But in my redesign, I wanted him to appear more of like as a secretary kind of person. Like he would be the one to handle like all of the reports and the tax kind of stuff, you know, complicated math stuff. And just because he's like more smarter in my head doesn't mean he's like any less like combat reliant. In my like redesign in my universe, you know, Blitz had to teach Moxie a bit of how to do like close range combat because Moxie already knew how to do long range combat. but not like teach him in a way where it was just like, okay, this is how you do this is how you do that, but teach him as in he would literally put him through another type of hell where he'd had to survive. And I would think that Moxie has a little bit more confidence in his ability because, you know, he's been doing this for a bit, which is why I sort of gave him this like pose. And the position of his tail is very intentional as well. I wanted him to be presented as somebody who is more calm, not calculated, but definitely calm. And I wanted him to be like the more, not sane, but more aware of what he's doing. And I think because he came from like this like terrible like family, he knows how to do a good like poker face. Of course, when it comes to Millie, he can't really keep up that poker face. I'm not saying that he's like a complete simp for her, but you know, that's his wife. He's gonna like fold. I also think that he would be like a little bit more like, why are we doing this, you know? Like especially whenever Blitz is coming up with like this plan, he's gonna be like the one to try and find the faults in it, you know? But then again, I would feel like my design mocks would already have like a foolproof plan of some sort. Speaking of Blitz, I feel like Mox, even though he can wear whatever he wants, he still tries to match it like Blitz outfit. And I would think that he does that because it seems more quote-unquote professional. In his original design, he has like a really big bow, like cartoonish bow. I didn't really like it all that much, so I just changed it into like a single lace bow or like a ribbon bow, but I just thought that looked a little better. I had a little bit of a difficult time with Moxie's face shape because his is like kind of like Blitz, but not really. It's like a football, but like comes into like a circle. But I kind of covered it with long hair. Moxie's original design has like this nice short hair, and I think it looked really well. So I was just thinking like, what would happen if I just made his hair like a little bit longer? And I think it turned out really well. And in my little universe of this design, I feel like Millie would have encouraged him to like grow out his hair. Like maybe early on whenever they first like met, she would have like teased him about it, being like, you know, you'd be like super hot if you had longer hair. Of course she was just joking, because I mean, Millie would have liked him with long hair or without long hair. As for the freckles, I kind of had to think about like where they were gonna be placed, and like I didn't want to randomly dot it on because that would just look messy. So I kind of layered like a mid-tone, a dark tone, and then a light tone, or a dark tone, mid-tone, light tone. And I think I liked this technique. It definitely worked for me, and I just liked the way it came out. As for like the coloring of like the tail, I think there's like a lot of white on him, and the more that I'm looking at it on my other monitor, I feel like I did too much white. But honestly, I think it kind of fits him. Now with his horns, oh my goodness. For his horns, I wanted them to be like the same shape because I genuinely thought that the design itself fits him really well. But I didn't like the pattern of blue and white. So then I thought for the horns that I would do like these like crevices, like not really crevices, but just like some, like they would only be on like the top of the horns, and they would be kind of trying to wrap around the horn but not wrapping around all the way. Either way, I do think that this went really well. Also, I didn't want to make these horns like really dark. I decided to make them like the sort of navy blue type of color. I had no idea whether or not I wanted to put like any sort of pattern like dots on his hands because I wouldn't know how to do that specifically. So I just ended up leaving the patterns on his tail, and I was wanting to put them on the neck. I completely forgot to do that, which I know I'm letting a lot of the Moxie lovers down on this one. I would also like to talk about how I originally was gonna be doing the glasses. I was gonna make them like big and I was gonna make them like nerdy and stuff. But then I realized like I feel like that would lean too much into the trope of him being a huge nerd. Even though he's not really a nerd and he's just a huge theater fanatic. Which no fault to him, I'm a theater fanatic too. So I gave him some glasses that were a bit more tamer. So I just went ahead and looked up like sort of what kind of glasses there were out in the world, and there was these pair where it only had like the bottom, which looked pretty cute, and I was like, oh hey, that would look good on Mox, so I just put them there. Originally I was going to make these glasses gold, but then I realized that would make him seem a little too like rich. Even though I feel like it would kind of like add up to his like origin story of him being like a son to a really like good boss man, bad boss man, not good. But I think by giving his glasses this like darkened frame really shows like where they are in the place of hell, as in like in the means of social hierarchy. I don't know, I don't want to get like too into that because this part's about Moxie and I don't want to be talking about like social hierarchy. He still shows his like cowardice in a way, but not in a way to where it's like where we see it in the show. I would see him going to this mindset when he knows he like fucked up or something. But other than that, I wouldn't change anything else about him. And this is the redesign of Moxie. And here they all are, my three redesigns of Helluva Boss characters. I had a lot of fun redesigning these characters, and I hope y'all guys enjoyed me rambling about like what I would change, what would stay the same. Y'all guys should check out my other video about me talking about Arcane while I do a speed paint of Echo. And if you want more content like this, please subscribe, leave a like, and by all means, leave a comment. And without further ado, bye-bye!